guys, this is JPGH here, and today, oh boy, we're gonna tackle something that I'm very passionate about, and that's also correlating with a certain date, that being Portal 2 and Portal 2's 10th anniversary. Yes, this game did in fact come 10 years ago. And yeah, it's for me in general, just before we begin, this game means so much to me. It served as like an insane amount of inspiration for me and for my work and for my tastes in general in any sort of media, whether it be video games, movies, comics, etc. And yeah, just letting you guys know, this is gonna be an insanely long JP Talks, because man, am I passionate about this game. And seeing how it's gonna turn 10 this year, you bet your ass I had to do something for like what's basically one of my favorite games of all time. God, there's just so much to talk about. But before we begin, I just wanna go ahead and give a few disclaimers. Number one, just like every single JP Talks, this recording won't have a script per se, as this show is more like focused towards being sort of like a podcast sort of like experience. However, unlike my food mascots video, which I made like a month ago, this video actually does have like tons of notes down. Like, remember how like at the beginning of that video I said, sorry, I don't have any notes, but I'm gonna try to organize myself as best as I can. Well, I did this time, like I promised, and man, did I write a lot of shit in my like notebook. And boy, do we have a lot to talk about. We're gonna start from, well, yeah, I wrote some things in my notebook, and I'm gonna follow them along so we have like a coherent set of like events or like topics to talk about. So let's see. I'd say where to even begin or something like that, but like, yeah, I actually do know where to begin because like I wrote it down. So anyways, first of all, explain the Portal series. So basically, Portal is like this first-person shooter game that's not focused on killing, but rather puzzle solving. And the puzzles on themselves are basically like escape the room, I guess, like sort of scenarios where you're like put in like a room and you have to get out of it, or like at least like go to the next one. You solve these puzzles in order to progress to the subsequent, like, I guess, levels by using this nifty little device called the portal gun. And the portal gun is pretty straightforward, but just by saying like its utility, you guys are just gonna, like, if you guys haven't played Portal, that is, you guys are gonna see the endless amounts of possibilities that like are doable like in this game. Basically, the portal gun has one function and one function only, that being you can shoot out portals, meaning it doesn't suck like enemies or like create black holes or anything, but basically it creates a blue portal and an orange portal, or basically a door A and a door B, and whatever it is that you can think of, or that like it's interactable, you can put through the portal. You can only shoot the portal gun at white surfaces. There's tons of surfaces in the game, in both games actually, but you can only shoot white surfaces. And to go a little bit more in depth as to how the portal gun can be used, check this little video out.
Welcome to the Aperture Science Enrichment Center. Let's look at some of the challenges you'll face as a test participant. You may be required to perform simple tasks such as locating an exit These simple tasks may be supplemented with insurmountable obstacles. Thanks to the Aperture Science handheld portal device, the impossible is easy. Certain objects may be vital to your success. If at first you don't succeed, you fail, and the test will be terminated. When stuck, remember our motto: there's a hole in the sky through which things can fly. At the Enrichment Center, we believe that a highly motivated test subject can carry out rather complex tasks while enduring the most intense pain. So in case you don't make it through the testing, goodbye. This next test is impossible. Now you're thinking with portals.
So yeah, I think you guys get the gist of it. But so, the Portal games are, I think, masterpieces. I mean, Portal 1 is a bit rougher around the edges. But I mean, what game couldn't be rough around the edges when it has like 8 people in total working on it? As you guys may know, Portal, like the first one, began life as like an indie project by like basically some college guys who were making a game called Nerbacular Drop. It had like the same concept and everything. Once they showed off that game at like their final college, well, I'm not really sure. I was about to say final college assignment, but I don't remember like the little details. But basically, Valve got like notice of like what they were doing, and so they decided to hire them in order to flesh out like the idea that they had going. And so, Portal 1's really great, but Portal 2, just amazing, incredible. It's literally a miracle. A game so good came out, so mentally challenging, so creative, so funny, so charming, so intriguing, so mysterious, so just everything. This game literally, well, unless you're not a fan of like puzzle solving, but I mean, who isn't? I mean, I'm not a big puzzle guy, and yet I fucking love this game with all my heart. And so I honestly think Portal is so perfect. It's literally the one game I think anybody, and I mean anybody, could like pick up and play. Because like, and many people say, oh well, Animal Crossing's like very accessible, but I mean, you don't, I mean, the game is accessible, yes, but there's tons of people who don't like life simulation games, despite the fact that it's like really easy. And there's games like, I don't know, Smash Bros. Or Splatoon or Doom even, where the core game itself is like really fun, but a casual audience would be like alienated by everything that's happening. But Portal 2 is like the best, like the best out of like every single like thing and a game could be. It's engaging, it's fun, it's suspenseful, it's just everything. But so the Portal series has gone on for only 2 games, despite the fact that Portal fans are literally, and I mean literally, dying for a 3rd game, despite the fact that Valve hasn't even said if we're getting a 3rd game or not, because like that's what they like to do. Valve is really secretive with like their projects and stuff. But Portal, the series, has gone on for like 2 games. The first game's really good for like when it was made. Sure, it has like some faults nowadays where like they could be fixed, like for example, putting two portals in the ground, what's it called, and jumping like into one portal and coming out of the other. Like again, both portals are like in the ground. The camera itself isn't like really focused on well, like the POV, like the first person. And when you go into one, the game sort of like bugs out and like gets well, yeah, confused as to like what it should do, like how it should position the player after like jumping into one. But I mean, that's the only like real issue I see with like the first Portal game. Jumping into Portal 2, zero, and I mean zero issues. Zero, none at all, literally. Like, not a single glitch, not a single thing that the player can't like really comprehend, not a single way where you can, I mean, you can fail the test, sure. I mean, there's like, for example, like enemies, there's no way to where like the puzzle's like unfair. Sure, there's ways, for example, that like the game, for example, you can trap yourself in like a test chamber, but at the same time, in the few times that it can happen, the developers actually like saw forward into like the mistakes of like the test chambers, and so instead of like just like resetting you or something like to the beginning when you get stuck in a certain place, not die, but like get stuck, like the game plays with the idea and like has fun with it, and I'm gonna jump into that later on. But yeah, just know that Portal 2 is just flawless, like in almost every sense of the way, and that's why I love it so much. It's like in the gameplay department, there's not a single glitch. I mean, there are glitches, but you literally have to train yourself to like pull them off. But I mean, what game doesn't have glitches? Still, like the story is almost just flawless. Like 99% of the time, it's just perfect. Just yeah, that's why I love it so much. It's just like the perfect gaming experience. But so, going away from explaining what the Portal series is in its core, I'm gonna talk about really quickly about my time with the other Portal games. And since there aren't that many, I'm gonna talk about them like really quickly. But you guys may be thinking like, oh, well, you just said that like Portal only has like 2 games, like what's going on? But the thing is that it has 1 spin-off game and like 2 cameo appearances. So let's see. I already explained my time with Portal 1 and Portal 2 basically, though I'm gonna go in depth into Portal 2 really soon. But right now I'm gonna talk about Bridge Simulator, Pinball, and Poker Night 2. So beginning with Bridge Simulator. Honestly, I'm gonna be really honest. I just bought it because like it had the Portal name in it. Because like there's this series of games called like the bridge construction games where you basically have this little car and it has to go from point A to point B, but you have to build like a bridge like in very different terrain. And so if you don't build it well, like it collapses and the car explodes and stuff. And so yeah, you gotta build bridges. But those guys made like a collaboration with Valve, and so they made a Portal version of that same game, meaning that like yeah, you build bridges, but like there's portals involved, and so you have to like to get like little cars like across like portals in order to also get like to the exit. It sounds fun actually, but I honestly found myself like getting stuck at like one level and I haven't played it since. Of course I could go like look it up, like look up the answer on YouTube, but I'm honestly gonna do that when I'm like really, really bored, because like getting stuck on that certain puzzle actually made me feel like discouraged from like, well, yeah, going forward, and it made me realize like, hey, like literally the rest of this game is just gonna be the same. Which is something that Portal 2 easily just like Portal 2 itself, like just easily just like avoids doing. Like sure, you can get stuck in a puzzle, but like the game encourages you like by in so many ways to like just keep going forward. And plus, I don't even know how long the bridge portal simulator is. But like the Portal 2 for the average person, a playthrough could like go around like 10 hours, which is like the perfect length. For me, I think it could take like 10 hours to beat, like with all my knowledge and like all my time playing it throughout the years. But what's the name? But Bridge Simulator, I honestly think is about to be the same length, but like widened. Considering I like the puzzles seem like very, I don't know, convoluted, I guess. And so yeah, I have no interest in going back to a Bridge Simulator. But here come the two other games that I actually do like. And if you notice, we're gonna go through like kinda bad to like my favorite. So next up is the pinball game. Portal 2 has had like many crossovers throughout the throughout the years, especially around 2010. But we're gonna jump into that. Oh, believe me, we're gonna jump into that. One of the many crossovers Portal had was in this game called Pinball FX2, I think, in which you can buy like all sorts of boards and stuff. And well, I ended up buying the Portal board, and it's really fun. I love pinball, like pick up and play. I'm not like the most skilled person in pinball. I honestly just play it like casually, but the board itself is like really fun. I love pinball, but just not like expertly. And so like the board actually does like challenge you, and like it contains like many elements from the game into it, which I mean, yeah, if you played Portal 2 and then go play like the board game, it's gonna be like really engaging because they actually paid attention as to like what the mechanics of the game were and stuff, and so it's like really clever. I like it a lot. Though I only played like once, like 5 months, I think. So yeah, it's cool, but like nothing beyond that, honestly. Though don't take that as like it's like bad. Like it is good, just like not something like something for like a core gamer, I guess. And finally, I want to talk about Poker Night 2.
Gentlemen, I leave you to the tender mercies of GLaDOS.
Good evening.
Great. What the hell? Wayne?
This completes the first test of the contestants' poker faces. The bad news is you all failed miserably. The good news is you appear to be evenly matched.
Holy shit! Like, talk about like engaging someone that has no no care or like no need at all to learn about poker, like in the most fun way possible. So as you guys may like guess from like the name, Poker Night 2 is a game where you basically like play poker. And you play poker against 4 characters. You play against Brock Samson from the Venture Bros on Adult Swim. You play against Claptrap from the Borderlands series. You play against what's the name? Ash from the Devil May Cry series. No. The Devil May Cry. Are you fucking kidding me? Ash from the Evil Dead, not Devil May Cry. Jesus Christ. From Evil Dead. And you play against Sam from Sam and Max, the game from Telltale and stuff. But so, you guys may be thinking, oh, well, what does this even have to do with like Portal? You can buy some chips, just one pair of chips that it has like the Portal logo in it or something. Actually, no. I mean, sorta, yes, but no. It actually goes beyond that to where GLaDOS? GLaDOS, one of my favorite gaming characters of all time, is the dealer. A poker game where GLaDOS gives out the cards and says who wins the hand. If that's not the perfect role for GLaDOS outside Aperture Science, I honestly don't know what is. It's just how brilliant, seriously, from the developers to just just have GLaDOS as the dealer. I seriously see no one more perfect for that. And so GLaDOS is there, and believe me, she has like a prominent role in the entire game. Not only that, the game has you have like these tournaments. And so if you win tournaments, you get coins, and basically with those coins you can buy customizable gear. Gear for you and like the rest of like the bar that you're playing in. And so one of the combos that you can buy from said game is an entire pack dedicated to Portal 2. Meaning you buy it and literally the entire bar gets turned into an Aperture Science like test facility, which I just love the aesthetic. I just love how they pulled it off. And best of all, like there's like a little theater thingy at the back where like people act, I guess. And so when you pick the Portal kit, you get like a huge like elevator tube, and in the background you can see like all sorts of Portal elements like traveling around like the bar, which is like it's like so cool. And best of all, in regards to Portal, because I would talk about the game itself more, but I mean I think that should be like for its own like video, I guess. But anyways, to wrap up the Portal thing, in the game, each like contestant can once in a while say like, you know what, I'm gonna bet like, I don't know, my fucking banjo or like my book or like my trophy from like the Game Awards or something. And so if you win the thing from the respective player, you get something, it depends on what version actually, but you get like a thing, like a prize themed to said character that you like fought against, and won, by the way. Meaning, if you beat like I don't know, Sam from Sam and Max, and you get like his bounty item, that's how it's called. You get his banjo. Outside the game, depending on which version, you can either get like a costume for like your Xbox avatar. You can get like an emote and stuff. Or you can get like, well, yeah, for the longest time in Borderlands 2, you could actually get like costumes based on each like, well, yeah, player from Poker Night 2, which was like really dope. But I think the dopest prize of all, obviously, was the one that you won against GLaDOS. And obviously GLaDOS is like even despite the fact that she doesn't play poker against you, but she like is kind enough to like give you like a bounty item of her own. And once you win that bounty item from like her, you get the very rare and exclusive Xbox avatar like little like animation thing, to where your avatar literally goes with GLaDOS and like interacts with her. And like I should just mention really quickly that like in the Xbox version of like Portal 2, you can sort of give your avatar like some other animations, but he just gets like this portal gun, like the avatar, he shoots like once and then like just snaps his fingers away, and that's it, and you get like a shirt and a hat and that's it. But like with the Poker Night 2, not only is the game like, well, yeah, sadly, not only is the game discontinued, making like the avatar items like even more rare, but also the hardest item to get is like your avatar interacting with GLaDOS, and obviously you bet your ass that's the the animation I put into my Xbox avatar for when people like come check out my profile and stuff, because like it's so cool, it's so dope. It's just like it integrated GLaDOS so well into the game. She talks with you and makes jokes and stuff, and she's just like really fitting to be there.
The player has been eliminated due to lack of funds. and intelligence.
You're killing me here, GLaDOS.
If I were actually killing you, there would be a lot more screaming and irony. Brock Samson has been eliminated.
Wow, I really didn't see this coming.
I did, but I didn't want to ruin the surprise. Surprise.
And overall, she literally is the only reason as to why I even bought Poker Night 2. If she wasn't there, I would have literally not bet a single fucking eye. If I'm being perfectly honest. Despite the game being like really good on its own, and like incentivizing you to like learn about how to play poker and stuff, which like is the reason I like poker in general to begin with now. But yeah, besides that, last notes before we leave the Poker Night topic, really quickly, I just want to say 3 things. Number 1, the game's composer, I forgot his name, I'm really sorry, but he made like remixes of like several like songs from the series that are like represented in the game, and 2 of them are some really classy and smooth, like just jazzy renditions of like Still Alive and like a background song from like Portal 2, and both of them are just like fantastic, despite the fact that they're not like my favorite songs from like the entire game. Yeah, they're like fantastic. You guys should like go and take a listen to them. Second of all, this game was sadly discontinued a while back, and I think you can get some download codes for like the Steam version, I think, or like pirated or something. But the version I've always played was the Xbox 360 one. Always has. And third of all, so since this game is like basically like forgotten now, considering they've discontinued it from like you being able to buy it, please, Telltale, I know you came back from the dead like not too long ago, and I know you're looking to make that sweet revenue, like to get yourselves up from like the fucking grave and like start publishing games again. So please just port Poker Night 2 to the Switch already. What do you have to lose? Literally, what do you have to lose? Like, the Switch is like the perfect console. It runs a little better than an Xbox One. Like, it's slightly like below like an Xbox One X. What do you have to lose? Really? Like, and like while you're at it, like add an online component, because like outside the game, like the engine to run like this poker game is really good, and the soundtrack is really good, and like you could even make a deal with Nintendo to have like that prize thing from like a marketing stunt from the original Poker Night 2, and instead of like being able to get avatar costumes or animations for your like avatar in the Xbox 360 version, you could get like the exclusive. Imagine how cool that would be. Exclusive profile pictures for like your Nintendo Switch. Meaning that if you won in the Nintendo Switch version against GLaDOS, you could have a GLaDOS profile pic. How cool would that be? Like really, that would be super dope. Like congratulations, you unlocked the very exclusive GLaDOS, like yeah, profile pic. That would be super dope, honestly. But so, leaving the Poker Night 2 thing aside, which yeah, I actually have a ton to say about Poker Night 2, though I think I'll talk about it when well yeah, just to leave like this little section, which turned out to be way longer than I expected actually. Just to leave this little section. There were rumors that there was gonna be a Poker Night 3 and that GLaDOS was still gonna be the dealer, which honestly would be like a dream come true. However, I'm not gonna talk about like my thoughts for the next Poker Night game until like that leak turns out to be true, because like supposedly like Poker Night 3 was supposed to be announced at like E3 of like 2020, but like fucking COVID hit. And so yeah, that rumor's now like shrouded like in mystery. So we don't know whether it's like real or like fake. But like if it is real, that means like GLaDOS could show up again in like a next gen game, which would be like super hype. But so I want to leave Poker Night 2 aside now. So let's keep on going. So, okay, my next point is how Portal 2 goes beyond. And here's the thing. I think I touched on this like not too long ago, but I'm just gonna mention it anyway. Portal 2 not only pulls off gameplay mechanics and like its level design style in terms of like art style and stuff and like music, just acting. Not only does it do all these things, but also there's just so many details like you guys would not believe. I think I'm gonna touch on them like later on, but Portal 2 just like goes so like beyond in like trying to immerse you and be like interested in like this mystery that's going on. And I'm gonna jump into the story in a bit, but here's how I think Portal 2 goes beyond like just any other game. The game is just filled to the brim with just like Easter eggs and like little notices and just like things that like interconnect with like the story that's already being told and that has been told not only from like the first Portal game but also from like even the Half-Life games. So for example, Sonic Forces, the developers have a set goal in mind. They have the goal to, for example, make a level. And so they make the level and they go like, oh, well, this level, what does Sonic do? Sonic runs. Yeah, so let's have him go from point A to point B, no questions asked. Just basically a straight line with like some curves and maybe an automated section, etc. But like you look at Portal 2 and like what's the main focus? The main focus is, oh, you have your player in this square ass room. What are you gonna do with like this said room? And well, the focus is like, okay, you have this player on a square ass room and he has to solve a puzzle. And like it's Valve could have just said like, oh, well, let's just have a puzzle and go to like the next one. That's it. But not only did they add unique dialogue to every single test chamber that you go to, but they also, to most of them, they added like little Easter eggs all around, especially at the beginning of the game, where you like, sure, there's like the test and you can solve it, but for example, in a normal ass test, you could have like a whole ass room like just there like for you to go in, and you could have like a little Easter egg or a reference or a clue to solve like the bigger puzzle. And so I mean, Sega, oh my god, I'm so sorry, Sega. But it's just that I'm comparing like Valve to Sega. But like Valve didn't have to do that. Valve didn't have to put like so many like little rooms with like unique art or like music or like, well, all that sort of stuff. They could have just said like, oh yeah, have the player go into this room, solve it, and then go to the next one or whatever. But like again, and yeah, well, adding to that, like the content, like the extra mile that Portal 2 like goes through by giving each room like unique dialogue and stuff and like extra rooms for you to explore in, it's actually really good and it doesn't feel like filler, because again, I mean, the average player who like could play at the pace that they wanted. And I mean, it's not like you have to go to the little rooms to like complete like the challenge. You can just complete the puzzle and that's it, and you can move on. But like the developers like thought to themselves, players are possibly gonna be really engaged. Why not give them some more like things to like explore and engage themselves with? And so that's why we got so many cool Easter eggs. Yeah, I have noted that I'm gonna talk about Easter eggs, but like later on. So yeah, I'm gonna stop right here. Though do know, like, just to sort of close like this little section. But yeah, like just comparing, for example, just comparing Portal 2 to my favorite games of all time, like Mario Galaxy or Sonic Generations. Portal 2 just goes to show, like, when you're playing, that like the developers just wanted to put a little extra, just little details, little things at the side. So I mean, Mario Galaxy and Sonic Generations, they have tons of details put into them, and they're well made. However, like, Portal 2 goes like the extra step beyond, having like sequences to where like they weren't needed, like they didn't need to add like so much like spectacle into what they were telling, and yet they did anyway. Like, obviously, like, not everything, like, adding so much polish, like, obviously goes into, like, trying to sell a game and, like, trying to make it look good. But at the same time, there's, like, just so many sequences to where, like, the regular developer could just have been like, oh, yeah, no, that's enough. I mean, just a bit like that. I mean, it's a game where you go from test chamber to test chamber. It's fine. Just have it like, just have the transition be like this. But like the game, like action sequences where like levels move like around you, and like unique dialogue for each like test chamber, and like a dedicated joke per level, and like just so much like detail to like making the game seem as fresh, and like just like have new ideas in every single level. It's just charming. It adds to the experience, and it goes a long way, considering, again, this is one of my favorite games of all time. For lack of a better word, I know I'm making it like I'm not going into detail, but that's because I'm going to go into detail as this discussion goes on. But yeah, do know, just before jumping into spoilers, because the next section is gonna be like spoiler filled, this is just a fantastic, just an amazing game. Go play it, go buy it right now. Even if you don't play Portal 1 first, just go. That's the thing, before we jump into spoilers. Portal 1, from what I've seen, isn't like, well, I'd say it's not for picky gamers, considering I have heard tons of like gamers say things like, oh, well, actually, I'm not gonna even bother with a game if it's not 100% perfect or something. And to those of you who like only like to like have your time in like super good flawless games without like trying out like the older ones that started like the whole thingamabob, just go play Portal 2, like without like looking up anything. Just go play it, Portal 2. But if you're open-minded and open to other sorts of experiences, despite them not being like 100% perfect, unlike Portal 2, then please do go play Portal 1 first, and then brace yourself for literally the perfection that is Portal 2. So, okay. I also have like this little note at the bottom of my list. Well, not at the bottom, but like right after, which says right here, acknowledge how good it feels to talk about something positive while being a Sonic fan in 2021. Which, yeah, like, isn't this nice, Sonic fans, while you're here in this little tangent? I'm sorry. But yeah, doesn't it feel nice to be like happy that a game franchise is turning 10? Well, not game franchise, but like, you know, the game itself. Like, isn't it nice to be like happy for once about something like that's having an anniversary this year? I don't know if you guys outside of Sonic know, outside of the Sonic fan base know, but Sonic fans right now are just sick and tired of like fucking Sega just like not doing anything right, and like publishing shitty ass games despite the fact that their past has been like so critically acclaimed, and like whatever. And like, yeah, looking at how the Portal 2's anniversary, like, holy hell, like, it feels nice being happy about a game franchise after like having to sit through like tons of deserved actually, but tons of deserved negativity and like incompetence from Sega and quietness and just like them right now forcing like this whole, oh yeah, we're gonna have an anniversary to celebrate the 30 years of Sonic, while like they've been doing a shitty ass job like being faithful to their fans to the point where like with Sonic Forces they almost like ripped off like their player base and stuff. Sorry. Player base. Sorry. It feels good like talking about a game that's actually perfect or that like deserves like the recognition that like one should like deserve when talking about an anniversary or crossing like a milestone. Like, well, I mean, that's basically it, but like, I mean, yeah, how happy do I feel talking about such a great game? I made more like, okay, I have a brand new discussion coming about Sonic. It's gonna come out like really like much later than this one, but I made, let's see, one like, and this is like a full page, by the way, of like the booklet I have for notes, for God's sakes. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 pages for this fucking discussion about Portal 2, and only half a page of notes for fucking Sonic the Hedgehog. Like, Jesus Christ, like, Sega, get your shit together. I'm here passionate about a 10-year-old game that has had no updates from its developer. And yet you guys publish games like once, like what, four years? And I have no desire to talk about you guys. Like, that just goes to show. And now that I think about it, like this little bit, I was gonna save it for like the Sonic discussion, but fuck it, I'm gonna mention it here too, because like you guys can see that, like, okay, despite me being like much more active in like the Sonic community with the games and stuff, I honestly respect Portal 2 much more than like the legacy of this blue piece of shit. Despite the and that's the thing, this whole little section was like, I think I wrote it down because like, well, these two franchises that I care about so much both celebrate their anniversaries this year, and yet I give no shits about, well, I do give a shit, a small shit, about Sonic, but yeah, that just goes to show like just how much respect I have like for this, and how if I'm engaged with something enough, I'm, well, yeah, gonna talk about it more. But anyways, leaving that frankly quite long little side note, I guess, that was supposed to be a little bit smaller. Let's jump into spoilers and let's jump into the story.
The player has won tonight's tournament.
I bet you think you're pretty clever, don't you?
I say,
But consider your competition. A steroid freak with rage issues, a horny robot, a half-witted cripple, and a dog. And even then you needed luck to win. Lots and lots of luck. I wonder how you'd do under less favorable conditions. Just kidding. I would never kill you. In public.
Quick disclaimer, this audio that you're about to listen right now was originally supposed to be an individual section for the Portal 2's 11th anniversary discussion. However, it got really big and I talked about a lot of things that I liked from the things that I played. And so I decided to turn this little section into its own video. So yeah, consider this basically the Portal 2 discussion part 1.5. With that said, I hope you guys enjoy. So, as earlier JP may have said, this is being recorded before I'm getting to do the Portal 11th anniversary, like the Portal 2's 11th anniversary discussion. And the reason for that is because it was just announced a few days ago that there would be an Aperture desk job tech demo. And I just finished playing it just now. I did not think I would have been able to do it, but it happened. It happened, and I played it. I played it with my Nintendo Switch controller, which is nuts, honestly. And well, I got a really solid opinion of what I just played. So before I head into spoilers, which Jesus Christ, I don't know what this means for Portal, honestly, the story wise. But okay. So basically this was golden. I loved it. I loved every single moment of this. I felt goosebumps all the time. And I'm like, holy shit. I'm honestly baffled at how good this was. I enjoyed myself quite a lot. I think this must have been like more than 20 minutes. Like, it felt like an entire fucking movie, like half of a movie. I learned a lot about Aperture science, and like everything was just like so cool and perfect and awesome. The game making was spot on, the graphics, the jokes, the gameplay, everything was just surprising, and I love that about like Valve games. I love how they play with your expectations, but they don't have to introduce like some sort of like I don't know, they don't introduce like fluff. And I know there have been other tech demos before. For example, the VR one, which I'm dying to play it. I got a headset, but I sadly can't actually play it because like it's actually pretty resource intensive. But overall, this tech demo was definitely more hefty than either the HTC Vive one or like the VR one, and overall, holy shit, I had such a fucking blast playing this, because that's the thing, these tech demos aren't just like, well, this one is more specifically, it wasn't like, here, have this like room and a ball, or like have 128 Marios just running around to test the technology we have. No, this was like a whole story, and it was hilarious, and I loved myself while playing it, and like, I don't know, it's just, I fucking loved this. I would honestly pay up to $70 fucking dollars, and I would not buy anything else if it meant I was getting a Portal 3. Or like, speaking of which, the Aperture job testing tech demo in the Q&A literally had Valve's first ever mention of the words Portal 3 together. And so that's revolutionary. You guys may be thinking like, oh, well, but when they said Portal 3, they specifically said that wasn't Portal 3. But I don't fucking care. They said Portal 3. They literally said the words Portal 3. They acknowledged the fact that it could happen. And also, just like I probably said before in this discussion, one of the Portal writers that worked on Portal 2 literally said to the camera on an interview that he wanted to work on Portal 3. So that's 2 fucking mentions of Portal 3. But besides that, yeah, play this demo. It's fantastic. I loved it. It's funny, it's creative, it's surprising, it's amazing. And oh my gosh, there's so many nods to like Portal 2 deleted content and new concepts and art and like references to the old games and oh my god. And so I don't know. I loved it. I loved my time with it. Go play it now. It can run on normal computers. You have no excuses. Go play it now. But anyways, on to spoilers. So, the basic rundown of this is that you are tasked in Aperture Science on the 70s time period to basically go on and test products. You test over 200,000 toilets, I think. And you meet this sphere called Grady, which I actually kind of like a lot. I like his design. I like how the things that are keeping him like attached to the ceiling look like headphones. That was really creative. But so you test toilets, and then this guy comes up to you, and he has the idea of basically all the toilets that you're testing, turn them into weapons. And so with all the research you get from testing toilets, you get the opportunity to test this guy's Grady's machines. And yeah, you get to basically fire a toilet, like first person shooter style. Like instead of a turret, you get a toilet. A turret toilet. And well, you get the thingamabob and you shoot up, like you test out the weapons, and then you destroy like your whole workspace. And then you go to like the oh my god, you go to jail, and in between every single thing you see like mantis people from like that one joke in Portal 2 where there was an army of mantis people overrunning the facility. If you would Cave Johnson said that, sorry. And if you would like to cooperate with the mantis people test, please go ahead. And then in the next test chamber, great news. Well, we've got some news. Bad news is that the mantis people testing has been halted forever. But the good news is that there's now a new job available where you get to kill mantis people. So grab your nearest gun, report to me, and get ready to kill some mantis people. And then you basically, I guess, you get to see like how the mantis people developed their society, which is like fucking I don't know, it's just I loved it. I loved that callback, and I don't know, it just shows that they're like because it wasn't just like, oh yeah, have some mantis people one time and then they disappear. No, they actually call back to it, but it's like a joke, and they don't just go like, huh, that was in Portal 2. No, they made a joke. But so you get sent to prison for like 18 months, and then you get to and that was a really weird part. I know it was made to test like the Oculus, the Steam Deck. I know that, but at the same time, I was only told like by like a prison lady. I was told to like to state your name and state who you're called, And then my microphone turned on, and literally I just went like, I'm JP. And then the microphone closed, and I went, and the lady went, okay, so your profile name is, and my computer played back to me, I'm JP. And then they told me, write down your name, and I wrote down my name. And they told me, okay, put your signature here. And I literally used my mouse to make the signature. And I was like, what? And so I was sent back to fucking... I was sent back to my... Oh my god, to my working place. And I was told that we were gonna go into a shooting range testing thingamabob. And well, I tested it out, and here's what fucking blew my mind. Because now I think the same technology that's being applied to the Switch is being applied by Valve. Meaning that this to me, like, basically means that they want to support Nintendo to what they're, like, doing, right? And so basically you get like the Pro Controller gyro, which is basically like playing Splatoon. Then I started moving my controller, and then I started basically playing Splatoon. And I was like, what? And I started shooting like appliances and stuff at random. And so suddenly appliances turned into like real life objects on my, like, well, not real life. They started like gaining sentience, and like instead of like toilets, now I was getting like washing machines and like TVs shooting at me, and I had to shoot as I was going up. And so, oh my god, the ending. I don't know what the fuck was up with this ending. I have no clue. Like, okay, you go up to Cave Johnson's office, which, by the way, I think they literally got J.K. Simmons back to play Cave Johnson. I think they literally did that. But so, they got Cave Johnson before at the beginning, and then they got him at the end. And you go to like his office, and I was like, oh shit, are we gonna see him in like, holy shit, are we gonna see him in real life? Well, not in real life, but like, are we gonna see him like in a body like human? Like, where's Carolyn in all of this? You know? But so you go up to his office, and before there's like the silhouette when you go in, which, like, by the way, I got goosebumps while we were walking into his office. And so I saw like this big thing, and I went in my mind like, don't tell me that's a giant fucking potato. But then the lights turned on, and apparently Cave Johnson was put into a giant head of himself made out of stone. So he starts going on like, hey, I know you. Yes, good, you're here. Get me out of this head. I told people to put me, to give me eternal life, but they put me into this giant head, and I've been miserable for my entire life. So, please, by all means, just kill me. I've had enough. I've lived my life. Don't have any remorses. Don't worry about it. Just go ahead and kill me. And well, you go on, and basically, but yeah, you go, and then you shoot his head down, and then apparently underneath his stone head, there's this giant mechanical Cave Johnson head. And it's just like what the fuck? And you meanwhile you have Grady, the core, going like, yeah, this is the perfect time to promote our turret toilet. Go ahead and test it out. Don't worry. And well, yeah, you go, and yeah, you go, and then you just shoot the robot and the robot head. But keep in mind, Cave Johnson doesn't do anything. He just sits there, and then you find his power source, which is basically like an outlet with like a billion other like connectors connected to it. You shoot it down once, like just one, and then his head falls like 100 million floors into the ground. And then the credits, well, after you're told like, oh yeah, keep testing, don't worry, and like you go back to your job, I guess, the credits are Cape Johnson's head at the bottom of Aperture Science singing with some toilets. And that's it. And so, with all of that, with that really compelling story said, what the fuck does this mean for Portal? What the fuck does this mean for Portal? That's a really good question. Like, what the fuck does this imply? So, when the fuck does this take place? I may have to play Portal 2 again. But this, I don't know what this means. Apparently the giant chicken from like the concept art for Portal 2, that's canon, that exists in Aperture Science. That's not scrapped content, that's just a giant chicken that was like exists. That's canon now, apparently. And well, I have no idea what the fuck this means for like the plot, but I do have something to say. I'm thinking something generally. With Half-Life Alyx, like everything else that's happened, and now Portal 2, and all the fucking assets, the new assets that they've had to make for this fucking tech demo, and all the new assets, and like the new art, and like the new stickers and art, and like the 3D models, and like dialogue, and establishing of things. There is no doubt in my mind now. And this is being recorded before I'm going into the Portal 2 discussion. This must mean that something Portal related is coming. And as I've said before, and I think I don't care if I've said it before on this fucking discussion or after when I record in the future, but I fucking love Portal. I love it. It means so much to me. And so my gut instinct that I've built up for like a decade now of not having any Portal news at all. My gut tells me that we must be getting something Portal related, even if it's not Portal 3, even if it's like 70s Aperture Science, the game, or something, and you go and play a Portal game, but it's not set after Chell leaves, which by the way, I would like to see GLaDOS again. I honestly love her. I don't care if it's like Portal the prequel or Portal 3. I would love to see GLaDOS again. I love her. But this in my mind, there is no doubt that there is something Portal 2, something Portal related coming. And my gut tells me, no, there can't be. It's just a tech demo. That's it. No. This has to mean that something's coming. This is the first like concrete Portal game, not tech demo, that's come out like since Portal 2. Because like past tech demos were just like, oh, they're tech demos. I mean, I don't consider like you being in the VR canon, you know? But this is like they developed way too much stuff into this fucking game for it to just be like, oh, it's nothing, that's it. But I mean, I know Valve has like a shit ton of money, I know it, but at the same time, I'm really doubtful that like fucking like I don't know how to say it. Like, I'm really fucking doubtful that Portal got the writers back and they got new models and they worked their asses off on like a tech demo. I'm really, really, really doubtful that Valve's just gonna go like, oh yeah, sure. The Portal 2. We're just gonna leave Portal and that's it. Especially when they just launched their Steam Deck, and I know many people don't have faith in that's gonna go anywhere. But what else could you do? What else could you fucking do after all of this? Like seriously. So I don't know. I just there has to be something Portal 2 related coming. There has to be. And, Portal related. I keep going on Portal 2, but, Portal related. But so, now that I think about it, I think this is gonna be a standalone video, because, man, after the shitty ass times I've been having to go through, this made up for all of it. This was going through all the shit that I just went through these past few weeks and feeling like shit. And long story short, family issues with my fucking grandma and shit. I hate her. This was a breath of fresh air, and this was worth it. And I know it's just that silly little tech demo. Oh my god, Jesus Christ. But yeah, I loved it. And I just hope that this means more Portal stuff is coming. I don't care if it's a sequel or a prequel. God, I missed this feeling. In 20 minutes. In 20 minutes, this felt better than sex. Holy shit. Holy shit. I think that's enough. I think this is gonna be a standalone video. Now, I think if I include my thoughts on the Portal 2 discussion that I'm gonna do later on, because it was supposed to be a surprise, but if this is put into the actual whole discussion, then yeah, I'm gonna cut down some of the things that I said at the end. But yeah, this was marvelous. This was fantastic. Thank you guys. Thank you guys for listening, and God, fingers crossed that this means something outside of being a tech demo. Fingers crossed. Take care.
Klonoa Fantasy Reverie Series launches on Nintendo Switch July 8th.
What the heck?
So glad
Whoa!
you're here.
What the fuck is this? What? Oh!
Either way, you're in for a puzzle.
No!
In these award-winning games, the portal gun is your key to surviving imprisonment in a mysterious lab. Create portals and warp to other areas to find Kate? Still unconfirmed. You can pass through portals, and so can cubes, lasers, and robots with unnerving levels of personality. The secret is in local, online, and split-screen multiplayer modes.
Jill can beat Smash!
Neither is
Jill
the
can
sentient
beat
robot
Smash!
monitoring your every move. When Portal's companion collection
Oh
works
my
with
god!
this year.
Yes! Yes! That's it! Highlight! Nothing will top that! Holy fucking shit! Yes! Oh my god! I'm gonna lose my breath. Oh my fucking... Oh my god! Ah! People, I'm gonna put... While this Legend Alive shit is showing... You guys don't know how much I fucking love Portal. I love it. I love the two games. I fucking love them. They're masterpieces. And I literally made I'm making a whole series discussing the legacy of Portal 2 each anniversary. And I've rooted so much for Chell to be in Smash Bros. I've rooted for it, and oh my god! It's gonna be a possibility, yeah! I'm gonna go fucking insane! That's the highlight! That's the fucking highlight! I don't care if Smash is not having any DLC. That just pretty much confirms my whole fucking theory, bitch! if before I just had this as like my backup, I had it like oh my fuck, I had it like, oh well, Portal Bridge Simulator is available for the Nintendo Switch, so at least one Portal game is available. But I won't have to resort to that petty shit anymore. I won't have to reach straws for the possibility of Chell being in Smash Bros. Now the two games are on the Switch. Oh my god, I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna fucking. Oh my fuck.
We're going to have so much fun together. At first, your participation is appreciated and required. There might even be cake. The Portal Companion Collection will be available later today. I wanted to call it the Why Do You Keep Killing Me collection, but oh well. Let's get started, you monster.
Hey guys, it's JP here, and today I'm recording a video that I did not expect to record. So today was the Nintendo Direct Mini. I decided not to do a reaction to it since it was like a partner showcase. And I mean, come on. Last time we got one of those. We literally got a whole section dedicated to WWE mini wrestlers mayhem or something. So I decided not to record, but in that same direct, there was a section dedicated to things like Pac-Man, Sonic, and in between those, there was a huge Portal section for the companion collection. And so I checked it out, and it turns out the direct was like at 8 a.m. I watched it at 9 a.m. and it turns out that the fucking collection was out. just out, just like that. No waiting, just just go to the eShop and buy it. It's so weird. But so yeah, I played Portal 1 fully, and I was gonna play Portal 2 fully, but I mean, come on. As much as I love Portal, I'm not always in the mood to like play it. I mean, yeah, of course it's my favorite game of all time, but I'm not gonna sit and play through it like the full way if I've played it a million times, But so it came out, and well, actually, yeah. Before anything else, the name is kind of false. Because it's weird, but like they did this thing to where like the name of the bundle was called the Companion Collection, right? But like you buy the Companion Collection and you don't get the Companion Collection. You just get Portal 1 and Portal 2 in a bundle. and I guess you'll be able to buy them separately in the future, which just leaves me thinking like what? Because before I thought, well, I played Sonic Origins and that just left me spoiled because there were the original games, but you also had like art that you could look at and like the games and like they were remastered and they had like new sound effects and stuff. But these, while they're good ports, well, they're really good ports actually. I'll jump into that in a bit. They're just ports, just ports. That's it. And so, yeah, I did play through these, and I'm actually kind of sad that it doesn't give you like a menu, because I think it would have been really cool if like you enter the companion collection and it told you like, oh, here's Portal 1 and here's Portal 2, and below you have tons of cool little extras, and you could like hear the music, and like you could like see concept art and whatever. And I mean, that didn't happen. It was just the name of the kind of bundle that you could buy, I guess. And I mean, I shouldn't really be upset about it, about that, because they never did advertise that we were gonna get like a whole big thing, collection, whatever. But I mean, collection, come on, it's the name of the game, seriously. I mean, collection is associated usually with like premium collectibles, you know? But so, yeah, I did buy it, and I got Portal 1 and Portal 2 individually, which was like really jarring for me to just see like, oh, Portal 2 individually on my Switch, sure. But yeah, I played through Portal 1, and just as a quick summary of like my thoughts on Portal 1, I haven't played it in a while, but I noticed that, yeah, I mean, it's really easy for me to just fly through it. I mean, come on. I literally, like, I watched the direct, had some, I watched the direct, downloaded and bought, like, the companion collection. I played through Portal 1, and then I had breakfast. Like, yeah, you could blow through it, like, in 40 minutes if you know what you're doing. But, yeah, I like Portal 1 a lot. I like it quite a bit. I mean, it's fun. It's certainly got its, like, traits, but it's definitely not better than Portal 2. I mean, seriously. Just playing through it with, I mean, I think it was because I had my brightness turned, sort of down, and I didn't play around with the settings too much, and because I didn't have breakfast. But for some reason, while knowing that I had Portal 2 in my Switch, I sort of didn't like playing through Portal 1. But thankfully that didn't remain the case, because after a bit of playing, I thankfully did, well, yeah, I took a break, I had breakfast, I came back, and I enjoyed myself a lot, and I had a lot of fun, and my headache went away. And so, yeah, I think maybe, I don't know if it was because, like, I was tired, I didn't want to think about puzzles just as I woke up or something. But I mean, yeah, I didn't have that much fun with Portal 1. But Portal 2, I started playing it, and oh my gosh, it's still so much fun. Even if I know the game by heart right now, like, by now, I don't know, I repeat the lines, and they're still, like, funny as hell. They're fun, they're well-written lines. And so, yeah, I mean, Portal 1 is definitely a lot more, like, dry on its humor, and its atmosphere is a little bit more drab and depressing. But I don't know, something about Portal 2 is just like, I don't know, even if we're literally looking at like a post-apocalyptic thingamabob, it's still like, it radiates a lot of fun. But so, I see that we've been going for like 7 minutes, so I'm just really quickly gonna wrap up and say something, well, my last thoughts about this quote-unquote collection. I like that the frame rate, the frame cap has been raised from 30 frames to 60 frames. And that's insane, because like, well, I mean, not only are you restricted to 30 frames on, like, for example, Xbox One, so it is possible to play Xbox games on 60 frames per second on the Switch, which is really cool. But they also added like gyro control, like legit, like fucking Splatoon 2 kind of like movement, you know, which is like really, really insane. And I cannot for the life of me just believe that they would do that. I don't know. It's really fluent. It felt much better than the gyro controls for Aperture desk desk job, that's for sure. And so yeah, it's the ports. They're definitely worth getting. They're obviously like great games that you should buy and own for yourself. But not only that, you actually, I can't believe I'm saying this, the best ports aside of PC, I think, are on the Switch. They don't weigh that much for the system's memory. They run at 60 frames. They support gyro controls that you can modify. There's a shit ton of options. Yeah, it's just the best way to play Portal, and I'm shocked to say this, but I guess I won't be playing on like my Xbox anymore. I will be playing on my Switch, because yeah, the benefit of having 60 frames and gyro controls is like actually really fucking good. But so yeah, I think I think that's about it in terms of like things regarding that I have to say about this collection, because I mean, come on, I played these games like a million times, and I want to play and I want to talk about Splatoon 2 on its own. So with that said, I'm happy that this is my first video under 10 minutes. This has been JPGH. Let's hope that Valve keeps doing things with Portal. I did my part, and I gave money to Valve through Nintendo, so fingers crossed that we get Chill in Smash. Please, for the love of God, just let it happen. And, yeah, I'll see you guys later. Take care.